our way back to the 20th century.
Yeah.
Joe, you all right?
Buddy, how'd you get here? How'd you follow me back here? In fact, never mind that. Just tell me one thing. What year is it?
In a hospital. It must be 1988. But where's Clint? What happened to him? Where is he?
Oh, hello there.
What?
You've been asleep for quite a while. We were getting a bit worried about you, but you look like you're feeling better. How are you feeling?
May! May, how did you get here?
Here's what you do when you don't find the rainbows in this time. Here's where you go when it looks like the rain won't end. Don't cry. I'll give you tomorrow. Let me be the one to share it with. And each day that follows, 'cause we only have one life to live.
What is wrong with you, Joe? We're in 1988. You know that. We've been here for a couple of months.
We are in Arizona.
Of course, Joe.
Joe? What do you keep calling me Joe?
You really don't remember when you walked onto our ranch, do you?
No, I don't.
You were in bad shape. You hadn't eaten in days. You said you were lost, didn't remember who or where you were. Finally, we decided to give you a job and call you Joe.
What about Okie? Okie, my horse Okie. Sir old gelding, blaze face.
No. You weren't riding a horse.
Well, did we go looking for him? Did we try and find him?
Like I said, this is the first you've ever mentioned of any horse, Joe.
It was all a dream. This has been nothing but a dream.
What was all a dream?
Never mind. The important thing is I'm alive, I can see, and I'm back home.
You know, maybe you've been, I think, yeah, you have been working a little too hard. Maybe you should take it easy. A little rest. I think the sun's getting so.
I never felt better in my life. I gotta call my wife and let her know I'm still alive.
Boy, that wind is howling like a banshee. We got fences down everywhere. We better get the horses up before they get blown clear across the county. Hello? Hello? What's Joe up to? Who's he trying to call? Hello?
His wife.
His wife? What wife?
I'm really worried about him, Pa. I mean, he says now that he's got his memory back, he's got to call his wife and tell her he's still alive.
Damn it, I gotta call him. We can find another phone.
That ain't gonna do no good. This storm's got the lines down from here.
Monroe McGillis.
You got the last name right. What in the world's got into you, Joe? My name is Howard. This here's Tyler.
Howard? Tyler? In my dream, you were Monroe. He was Buddy. I was back in the Old West, in Buchanan City, 1888. You were a farmer. I helped settle a dispute with you and Buck Buchanan and the other ranchers. Buck married Blaze. Your daughter married Cody. We got Jenny and Rand all together. It's amazing. It was all a dream.
Well, that's
I've been
right.
here all along.
That's right, Joe. You stumbled in here out of the desert about half dead. We took you in.
Well, I thank you for that, but I'm fine now. And you can stop calling me Joe. My name's Clint Buchanan. But right now, I got to get to another phone. I got to call my wife. She's probably giving me up for dead.
May, please, I need some answers.
Well, my name's not May. My name's Brenda, and I'm your nurse, and I'm going to make you feel better.
But why? I mean, what happened to me? Well, how long have I been asleep?
We don't really know what happened to you. You've been out in the desert for a while. You were found lying on the side of the desert there. Here, have some of this water. And considering the condition you were in when you were admitted, we figure that you were out there for quite a while without any water.
I was in the desert?
Yes, ma'am.
How'd I get here?
Well, a couple picked you up. And to be honest with you, we were a little bit worried about whether or not you were going to be able to make it.
Oh, how long have I been here?
A few days.
Has my family been notified?
No, ma'am, you didn't have any ID on you, but if you tell me your name and tell me a little bit about what happened to you, I'll go give them a call right now.
Well, I was in the desert. I was walking, and the sun was very, very hot. And the next thing I knew, That's really all I remember. I guess the rest must have been a dream. I have to call my family. They're going to be worried.
Hold on,
about
right
me.
there. You have an IV in your arm. You need to rest for a little bit, Mrs.
Oh, I'm Victoria Buchanan. Viki.
Okay, Viki, why don't you call me Brenda?
Thank you. I feel really weak. Do you think it'd be possible for me to get a phone in here? It's very important I call home.
Yes, I'll go get one for you right now, but please, you stay in bed, all right? You need to rest.
I promise.
Okay.
It was just a dream. I thought I found you. It was only a dream.
How can we ever thank you for the help you've given us?
Be happy. Measure your time, not by the hours, but by the stars.
I'll miss you, old friend.
We will meet again one day, in another time, another place. Go in peace.
Here's your phone, like I promised. You may have some trouble getting an outside line, though, because that storm is really tearing it up out there. Viki? Are you all right?
I just dozed off. I had this dream before. It was so real. I just have to keep telling myself it was only a dream.
Well, thanks for getting them horses up, Joe, or Clint.
No problem, man. I don't believe that score.
Well, I
See if
guess
our phone's working yet.
we're just going to have to wait until it blows itself out. I figure it can't keep on going like this.
Well, I can't wait. I told you, my family thinks I'm probably thinks I'm dead. I've been missing for months.
Well, I
I gotta let them
sympathize.
know I'm all right.
I sympathize with you, but what are we going to do with the phones all down?
Well, you got a truck, don't you?
Well, yeah.
Well, you can drive me into town and see if we can find a phone working someplace.
Well, how are we going to get through? The roads are all flooded.
Well, I'll walk if I have to. Just let me put on some dry clothes.
You can't walk in a storm like this.
Well, that's a chance I'm going to have to take. Buddy, my family needs me.
Now, Clint, Tyler's right. The weather like it is, you're just going to go out there and wander around and get lost, end up where you started at.
Did you give me this?
What, a rabbit's foot? No, why?
Howard?
I never saw it before in my life.
And Buddy gave it to me. He really gave it to me. Somehow I was back in 1888. I gotta get in there. Give me the keys to your truck.
Just calm down a minute now, Clint. I tell you what, I'll take you down to the hospital where my daughter...
I don't need a hospital.
All right.
I need the keys to your truck.
Okay. Now, the only reason I said the hospital, because I figured that their phones would probably still be working.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. We'll call the sheriff's department, highway patrol. Anybody can help us search. I knew it wasn't a dream. I really was back there in
Did you use a phone?
Yeah, I had it. Also, keep an eye on him. I mean, you don't know. He might be dangerous. Besides, once we get him down there, we're going to get him some help, whether he wants it or not.
Hand off.
Honey, I'm so sorry you had to hear that. I am. But you know what? Your daddy didn't mean those things. He really didn't, honey. No, and I'm going to work all this out, I promise. Just have to figure out how. I heard some shouting, so I figured you were home. What's going on? Oh, nothing, honey. Isn't it past your bedtime? Yeah, I couldn't sleep because of all the yelling. I'm sorry, honey. It was just a little misunderstanding, really. Nothing is wrong. In fact, I was just going to put Clint in bed. And while I'm at it, why don't I take you upstairs? Because you ought to be in... I'll get it. Hello?
Kevin, is that you?
Mom? I can't hear you with all the static.
Honey, we're having a terrible storm out here.
What?
I said, we're having a terrible storm out here. It must be affecting phone lines.
Oh. Well, did you find Dad?
What?
I said, did you find Dad?
Honey, I really can't hear you at all. I'm going to hang up and call back and try and get a better line. You stay by the phone, okay? Sweetheart, I'm going to hang up now, and I'll call you back as soon as I can. Bye, hon.
The line's still busy. Well, at least that means somebody's home. Hopefully Viki got back to Landview after we got separated.
Why don't you try calling your ranch again?
That wouldn't do any good. The operator said the lines are still down. We'll just have to keep trying to get through the land fair. Maybe I can get the operator to break in on the line for me.
Clint, I'd like for you to meet Dr. Burnside. Dr. Burnside is a resident psychiatrist. I thought maybe it'd be a good idea if you'd have a little talk with him.
No, wait a minute. I know I've been talking a little crazy, acting a little crazy, but I really don't need a couch trip. All I need is to get back to my family.
I realize that, Mr. Buchanan, but Howard says you've suffered a lapse of memory. Perhaps the best thing would be for you to allow me to examine you. Just routine, I assure you.
Doc, I know the routine. If you don't mind, I'll just take a rain check.
I really wish you'd reconsider.
Sorry, I got a phone call to make. Maybe later.
Hey, wait, what's going on?
I'm sorry, this is for your own good.
I was afraid he had a violent streak in him. You best keep a close watch on him.
I've handled his type before.
Clint! Clint! No, that can't be. Maybe it can. Maybe it can. Clint? I have to pull myself together. This is ridiculous. First I dream that I go backwards in time 100 years. And I find Clint. And now I'm hearing things.
Torn between her surrogate mother
She's being destroyed by all of this.
and her natural father.
Everybody
always talking about mother's rights. I'm a father. Fathers have dreams, too.
Who has the rights?
I'm going to call the judge because I am sure he's going to want to hear how you sexually abused my daughter.
Mary Beth, that's not true.
The conclusion of Baby M tonight.
Oh, that's much better, sweetheart. Can you hear me all right?
I sure can.
Oh, good. Darling, I'm very sorry that I haven't called for a few days. How's everything at home?
Fine, I guess. Tina and Court had a big fight. But everybody else is all right.
What were they fighting about?
I don't know, but they woke me up.
I was wondering what you were doing up at this hour.
So where are you? I was worried about you.
I'm sorry, darling. I am. I'm still in Arizona. In fact, I'm in a hospital, but I'm all right.
Hospital? What happened?
Well, sweetheart, I'm not exactly sure. I drove the Jeep out in the desert, and the sun was really hot, and I obviously am suffering heat stroke.
Were you looking for Dad? Wait, did you find him? Did our plan work?
Honey, I want you to know that I tried very, very hard to find Dad. And I think I had as much hope in my heart as you did that I would find him, but sometimes things just don't work out the way we want them to.
You didn't find Dad, did you?
No, baby, I didn't. Oh, honey, I know how disappointed and hurt you are. I feel like it's partially my fault because I allowed you to get your hopes up and think that your father may still be alive.
It's not your fault, Mom. I wanted to believe Dad was alive, but he was gone. We tried, right? And we're still together.
You bet we are. We've got each other, we've got Joey and Jessica. We've got a family.
So, when are you coming home?
Oh, real soon, baby. Hopefully tomorrow.
Okay. I love you, Mom.
I love you, my boy. I love you so much. You go on back to bed and get some sleep, okay? I'll call you in the morning.
Okay, good night.
Sweet dreams, sweetheart.
Bye.
Kevin, who was that on the phone?
Mom. She said she would be home pretty soon.
Oh, well, good. Did she leave a number where I could reach her?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't think to ask.
Honey, what's wrong?
It's Dad. Sometimes I miss him so much it hurts.
Oh, Kevin.
Now, according to Howard McGillis, you claim to have traveled back in time 100 years.
Is that what this is all about? Look, Doc, I had a dream. Now, it seemed awful real to me at the time because it stuck with me so long. But since when is it a crime to tell somebody about a dream?
It isn't, Mr. Buchanan, but coupled with your supposed bout with amnesia...
Well, there's nothing supposed about it. I admit, I can't place what happened the last few months. But I'm fine now. I mean, maybe the storm knocked some sense into me.
Yes. What about your attempts to call home? Howard said you were quite adamant. You even went so far as to grab him and demand the keys to his truck.
Well, maybe I got a little carried away, you know, but hell, who wouldn't you? I mean, if you'd been missing for months, wouldn't you call your wife and let her know you're okay?
I suppose. But you made it quite clear to Mr. McGillis that your wife was lost in the desert. You were quite emphatic about finding her.
He must have heard me all wrong, Doc. I mean, we were all upset about the storm and getting the horses in out of the weather. This thing has gotten blown all out of proportion.
Perhaps.
Well, you know, I'd like to stick around and oblige you and let you play with my head and everything, but like I told you, I gotta call my wife and let her know I'm okay, so if you'll excuse me. What's this?
Please, Mr. Buchanan, sit down.
Doc, you better get frickin' frack out of my way or I'm gonna remodel this joint. I will not be held here against my will.
This will only take a few more minutes with your cooperation. Without it, you're only going to make things tougher on everyone concerned. Now, please, sit down.
And then that's when Clint just went on and on about how he had been to the past and how his wife went with him and that he said something about his wife getting lost in the desert now. He had to find her. Oh, and then right about then, he just took Dad and he shook him.
Well, Daddy didn't hurt you, did he?
Oh, no. But I figured I'd bring him down here and let him see Doc Burnside.
Yeah, well, Burnside's the best we have. I'm sure he'll fix him right up there. Well, listen. I gotta get back to work, okay? So y'all drive safe.
Brenda, how you doing?
Dad, I am doing terrific. I love living in town, and it was a great idea for me to move closer to my job, okay?
Well, we just don't get a chance to see much of you lately.
Well, I'm going to be out to visit, I promise. Come here. Mwah. I'll see you later. Take care of Dad, all right?
I will.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, we better get on back. Let's go, Kyle.
Wait, Dad. I mean, can't we stay and at least see what happens to Clint?
He'll be all right, son. Come on, let's go.
Oh.
Viki. Hi. Did you get in touch with your family?
Yes, I did. I was wondering how long I'm going to have to stay here. I'm quite anxious to go home.
Well, you keep improving this way, and I think you're going to be going home real soon.
Well, good. That'll give me an incentive to follow doctor's orders.
Yes, ma'am. Listen, your clothes were a mess when I got here, so I had them taken to the cleaners for you. I hope you don't mind, do you?
Mine? No, it was lovely. Thank you.
Great.
I don't know how I can ever repay you for all your kindness.
Well, you just get well and you drink a lot of fluid, all right?
Yeah.
And there's a buzzer over there, and I'm going to be on the floor till midnight doing my rounds, so if you need anything, you just holler, all right?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It is Jenny's show. How on earth did it get here? Maybe it wasn't a dream. Maybe. No, it had to be a dream. It has to be a dream. Maybe it's not. Oh, God, maybe it's not.
Now, we really should do a CAT scan to determine the placement of the bullet fragment in your brain.
Obviously, it's shifted enough to take the pressure off the optic nerve, and I can see again. And that is all I care about.
But Mr. Buchanan...
No! Doctor! I'm not checking into this hospital, and I'm not going to go through a battery of useless tests. Now, that's the end of the discussion.
When was the last time you remember being Clint Buchanan?
When I rode off my ranch a few months ago.
That's the Happy Horse Ranch over in Valhalla,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So how did you end up at the McGillis Ranch?
My horse threw me. I hit my head. When I came to, I didn't know who I was or where I was. I wandered onto their ranch. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Like your dream, about 100 years of history. Now look, why don't you just tell me all about it?
Doctor, I would just love to sit around here and swap tales with you about dreams and the Old West and everything. But, you know, like I told you, I got this phone call to make. So I'm going out to the payphone. Even if I got to bust heads to do it.
Brenda, I need to speak to you for a minute.
Please, you need to get some rest. You can't be getting up.
No, I have to ask you about the shawl.
Okay, what about the shawl?
Where did it come from?
Well, you had it on when you arrived here at the hospital, so I imagine that it's yours. Don't you remember that? Oh, my God. What is the... Excuse me. Right back.
Now get these goons off of me! This display of temper is not helping your case. The only case you're gonna have is one hell of a big malpractice suit. All right, boys, don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh, Viki. Oh. Clear eyes. You're real. You're real.
This is Jed Duval. The summit is next week. A look at the obstacles facing Soviet leader Gorbachev's perestroika. Every day this week on World News This Morning.